Today, we're diving into Footprints Without Feet by H.G. Wells, a thrilling science fiction story that explores the dangers of ambition and the misuse of science. H.G. Wells, often called the father of science fiction, was a British author famous for classics like The Invisible Man, The Time Machine, and The War of the Worlds. His stories blend imagination with moral lessons, showing how science can both empower and destroy if used without responsibility. The story begins in London, where two boys see something strange, muddy footprints appearing on the ground by themselves. No person, no shadow, just footprints without feet. Terrified, the boys run away, screaming that they've seen a ghost. But those mysterious footprints actually belong to Griffin, a brilliant scientist who had discovered how to make himself invisible. Griffin was a gifted but short-tempered man. He invented a formula that could make human tissue invisible, and to prove it, he tried it on himself. At first, it worked, his body disappeared completely. But then came the horror, he couldn't reverse the process. Now invisible, Griffin had no place to live. He wandered the streets of London, cold and hungry, unable to buy food or clothes. So, he began using his invisibility to steal. He first burned down his landlord's house to take revenge, then stole clothes and food from shops to survive. But his invisibility also made him lonely and frustrated. People couldn't see him, yet they feared him. Later, he reached a village called Iping, where he stayed at an inn, pretending to be a mysterious scientist doing secret experiments. The villagers grew suspicious of him. Strange noises came from his room, money appeared suddenly, and his temper frightened everyone. Eventually, Griffin's secret was exposed when the landlady tried to check his room and found it empty, except for floating clothes. In anger, Griffin threw off his bandages and clothes, revealing his invisible body, and escaped, spreading chaos in the village. In the end, Griffin's own invention becomes his curse. His greed and misuse of science turn him from a genius into a criminal and ultimately lead to his downfall. Footprints Without Feet is not just a story about invisibility, it's a warning. It tells us that knowledge without humanity can be dangerous. Griffin used science not for progress but for revenge and greed, and paid the price. The narrative of Griffin serves as a cautionary tale, emphasizing the consequences that arise when one's intellect is not tempered by morals. Griffin, in his pursuit of scientific advancement and personal gain, embodies the archetype of a tragic hero turned villain. His initial triumph in making himself invisible quickly devolves into chaos as he grapples with the ramifications of his actions. The once genius scientist, admired for his breakthrough, becomes a feared figure, losing the very humanity that gave him purpose. As Griffin roams the streets of London, we witness the profound loneliness that accompanies his newfound power. Invisibility, which seemed like a gift, becomes a curse. No one acknowledges him, and he is distanced from human interaction. This reflects a deeper truth about human nature, that we thrive on connections with others. While power and knowledge can elevate an individual, they can also lead to isolation and despair if pursued without empathy or ethical consideration. And when Griffin arrives in Iping, he is not haunted by mere physical isolation. Instead, he becomes a pariah, a source of terror for those around him. His inability to engage with others leads to suspicion and fear, transforming him into the very monster he sought to escape. The local villagers, initially drawn by curiosity, soon become wary and hostile as they witness the strange circumstances surrounding Griffin. His attempts to maintain control spiral beyond his reach, ultimately revealing the fragility of his situation. The climax of the story showcases the potent theme of visibility versus invisibility. Griffin becomes a symbol of both the brilliance and the shadow that knowledge can cast. When he reveals his invisible body in a fit of rage, it signifies the culmination of his downfall. The chaotic consequences of his actions, characterized by fear and disorder, highlight the inevitable repercussions of misusing scientific discovery. Through Griffin's journey, Wells deftly illustrates the duality of human ambition. The pursuit of knowledge can lead to astounding progress, yet it often blinds individuals to moral responsibilities. Griffin is not a villain in the conventional sense, he is a victim of his own genius, a cautionary figure lost in the abyss of ethical blindness and unchecked ambition. Reflecting on the story, we are left to ponder the moral implications of our own pursuits, particularly in this age of rapid technological advancement. What responsibilities do we bear as creators and innovators? The tale of footprints without feet resonates beyond the boundaries of fiction, urging us to contemplate the ethical dimensions of our actions. As we strive for progress, we must remain vigilant and grounded, ensuring that our ambitions do not overshadow our humanity. In closing, H.G. Wells' narrative serves not only as an enthralling tale of science fiction but also as a profound reminder of the responsibilities that accompany knowledge. The story encourages us to reflect on our choices and the impact they have on those around us. Would we use the power of invisibility to uplift and assist others, or would we succumb to the temptations of selfishness and vengeance? As we contemplate this, let the story of Griffin and his footprints without feet remain in our thoughts, guiding us towards a more ethical path in our quest for knowledge and power.